When trying to bring about significant change, when is aggression and violence a better option than assertiveness, strong arguments and modelling the behaviour you expect of others?
Ashton?
When none of that other stuff works.
It's as simple as that?
Yep.
I have a great answer for this that a lot of people do not like. I want patriarchy to fear feminism. And there is a chapter in my book on violence. There is a chapter on my book about white women who voted for Trump and white women who accept crumbs from patriarchy because they allow their whiteness to trump their gender. I'm fully aware of this. But at the end of the day, even those white women have to recognize that nothing protects them from patriarchy. Nothing. For me, as a feminist, the most important thing is to destroy patriarchy. And all of this talk about how if you talk about violence, you're just becoming like the men. My question, so your question is a really important one, but I'm going to answer it with another question. How long must we wait for men and boys to stop murdering us, to stop beating us, and to stop raping us? How many rapists must we kill? Not the state, because I disagree with the death penalty, and I want to get rid of incarceration, and I'm with you on the police. So I want women themselves. As a woman, I'm asking, how many rapists must we kill until men stop raping us?
So, Mona, them's fighting words. Spectator Australia is already saying Mona's promoting violence. That's what you're doing?
Well, what I'm doing is I'm saying that violence has been owned by the state. That violence has been given by the state to its police. That violence has been allowed to continue, unchecked mostly, by men, especially privileged men. So exactly how long do I have to wait to be safe?
Okay,
and when I say to
Murray,
be safe,
Murray,
there's a hierarchy of safety too. Obviously, people of colour, disabled people, etc.
Murray, what do you think of that answer? How do you feel about this?
I guess there's two things. One is there's a lot of smashing and destroying.
Yes.
But what's the alternative? So
the alternative is a world where I'm not raped and murdered.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. That's a good start. The other thing is too, if you think about bullying, bullying begets bullies. So violence begets violence is what I'm seeing. So
well, let me bring Jess in on that about the, violence begets violence.
Well, it's interesting. I think if anyone's shocked by what Mona's suggesting, you just have to look back to history and a certain faction of the suffragettes in the early 20th century, they used violence. They thought what they were fighting was a civil war between the sexes. They smashed windows. That one suffragette actually went up to a young Winston Churchill in 1909 and whipped him with a horsewhip at a railway station. I mean, there was... Someone likes that. Winston Churchill did a lot of shitty things. So, that was, for a faction, a violent movement. And the only thing that stopped their militancy was World War I. If it hadn't been for World War I, there's no telling what might have happened because they were fighting for their lives.
And World War I was violence.
Hang on, Mona,
World War I is violence by men against men.
Mona, hang on 1 second. Let's have...
It's never the ideal. It's never the first thing to go to. But, slave rebellions, I mean, there are many causes where people have resorted to violence as a way to finally break through and get heard and achieve what we need. And if that's what it takes, that's what it takes.
If I can just jump in, Mona. So I'm thinking, I just want to bring this conversation back to the land that we're on, Australia, whatever. We live in a colonial state, and I think for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, we are living in a constant state of duress. We experience violence from so many different types of systems. We experience it interpersonally. When you say violence begets violence, there's something it's almost sounding like it's like a level playing field, which it's not. It's absolutely not. So I think if you're defending yourself, then I'm surprised. I wonder what our kind of tipping point in Australia is going to be when people are going to start burning stuff. I look forward to it.
Murray's question was when is it better offer than assertiveness, strong arguments and modelling the behaviour you expect of others?
I think, who's that bloody quote, appealing to your oppressor?
Assault Shakur. It's throughout history, no one has ever gotten their right or their freedom by appealing to the moral sense of their oppressor. It's
So in this-
fascinating for me that men constantly ask, oh, you don't want to become like us, you know,
Okay,
so
if I-
don't use violence.
Let's know to finish
So
your
I'm
point.
thinking about, you know, in a colony, we live in a colony. Like, we've tried for 230 plus years to appeal to the colonisers' morality, which just doesn't seem to exist. So I think violence is okay. Because, like, if someone's trying to kill you, you know, there's no amount of, oh, but I'm really clever, you know, I'm really articulate. No amount of that is going to save you. So
It's a
I think
tricky
let's burn stuff.
I think that's a really good moment to go to our next